It's that time again, guys. It's that yearly recap where I recap my year of being on the medical medium lifestyle, and I'm excited. I think it was an exciting year for me. So let's get into the video. Hi friends, and welcome back to my channel. I am Tara Tom, the Insight Stylist, here just sharing my healing experiences with you in hopes to support you on your healing journey. Again, this is not advice, this is not recommendations, this is just me sharing my journey. Those kind of questions and those kind of things should be worked out with a professional like your doctor or someone you trust in the health field to help you out in your health journey. With that all being said, it is 9 years. 9 years that I have been on this medical medium lifestyle. And till this day, it is still the best thing that has given me long-lasting results. So this is the only thing for me that has worked. And I am just sharing my experience with it and how it's helped me and what has happened. And I can't believe that it's been 9 years. That is just so crazy for me to think about. So much has happened in between. There's just been a lot of ups and downs, healings and new things. And we're gonna get into some of that things today. I'm gonna try not to make this video too long, but I feel like everybody kind of wants to see like what has healed. So I'm gonna try to touch upon those kind of things. I made some notes. I got my book. Let's get into this little thing. So the first thing that I want to talk about is what I did differently this year since the last time that we had kind of done this recap. This year, if you've been following along in my YouTube channel, I went fat-free, and I tried to do it first for 30 days. I just wanted to see what would happen. I made that. Then I was like, okay, let me try for 60 days. I did that. That worked. And then I was like, okay, let me try for 90 days. Maybe I can make it for 90 days. I did that. And then I was like, let's do 100. I did 100 days. And after that, it was like, let's go for the year. And so I haven't made a year yet, but I am coming up on that shortly. And I will do a recap video and all my experiences on that. So stay tuned for that. But that is one of the things that I did differently this year was I went fat-free. And so that helped my body a lot as far as healing, being able to let go of toxins or any sort of pathogens or anything that wasn't good for my body. It helped it to let go of it. So that all kind of happened this year. And another thing that I did differently was I began walking every day. I would try to go from 30 to 45-minute walks, anywhere from every day to at least 5 times a week or so. There were some periods that I had to switch it out and not do walking, and I did rebounding, but movement and exercise, just those two things was something that I wanted to incorporate, and I did this year. So that also was a great tool in processing this whole healing journey. Now, the next thing I want to talk about or the question I want to address is, I always am asked, is there an end to all of this? Like, is there a point where you can say you healed and then you're done? And I feel like everyone's kind of looking for that point. And I, for a long time, was looking for that point where it's like, okay, when are you just like healed? And then that's it. You're fine. It's great. And I will address all of that a little bit more in the next part of this video. But first off is, will I ever heal? And the answer is yes. Because even though I am not perfect in my healing or at that place where I have nothing to deal with, there is a lot of things that I have healed. And that's what I'm going to list today, because I'm always sharing things about what I'm suffering with or what I'm still dealing with. And I don't put enough emphasis on the things that I have healed. So in today's little 9-year recap, I kind of want to touch upon that and share the things that I've healed. So things that I've healed: eczema. I no longer have any flare-ups. I don't have any sort of eczema on my body. I haven't had one at all this entire year. I don't think I had. And if I did, it's very small and it will just be in a small patch and then it'll heal within a couple of days. But nothing like how I dealt with where it would stay for months and years. Nothing like that. So I consider it healed. Seasonal allergies, I used to suffer with them every season. Watery eyes, sneezing all the time. I have none of that. Cold hands and feet. I used to suffer where my hands and my feet would turn purple or bluish color because it was so cold. I don't suffer with that anymore. Brittle nails. My nails were so soft before that I could just like press it and it would just bend and stay like that. It wouldn't even bounce back. Now, my nails, I can't fold them like how I could before. Another one is exhaustion or fatigue. Fatigue, I would say it was like I could barely walk 1 mile per hour. I would feel faint and start to feel dizzy, and I would deal with exhaustion where every limb on my body would feel like 50-pound weights were attached to it. And I could barely move, barely lift my fork to my mouth to eat something. It was that bad. Now, I may occasionally get fatigue where I'm really tired, but nothing like that. Like nothing to that extreme, I would say. It was really bad before. Anxiety, I don't have any of those anymore. Panic attacks, I don't have any of those anymore. Tightness in the chest, none of that. Haven't had that. Jumping vision, where it would look like my vision was going up and down like this. Yeah, haven't had that. Migraines, no migraines. I have not had that in years. Sinus issues, none of that. I mean, my sinus issues were so bad before that it sounded like I was sick all the time. And everyone would be like, oh, are you sick? Are you have a cold? And it would just be sinus issue. I would just constantly be congested, and my voice would be constantly in that state of raspiness, and it would always sound like I had a stuffy nose. Don't have that anymore. Numbness in my toes. It was so bad before. I don't have that anymore either. But it was so bad that I would have to only wear gym shoes that would not put any pressure on my toes. Because any slight little pressure would make my thumbs go numb. So I would actually, I remember I would move my toes in my shoes to try to stop it from being numb. And I would constantly have to do that, or else I didn't know if I could walk. But I could only wear gym shoes. That was it. I could not wear any other sort of shoe, because if I wore anything else, just a little bit of the shoe touching my foot would make it feel like it was squeezing it, and that would make it feel too much pressure and it would go numb. So don't have any of that anymore. Brain fog is another thing that I sometimes deal with, but rarely. But before, it was really bad where I couldn't think of anything. I couldn't think to make lunch or what to eat. It was that bad. I just wanted to sit there and do nothing because I couldn't think. So that sometimes comes back, but very rarely, not as debilitating as it was before. Motion sickness was another one that was severely bad before, but it has gotten much, much better. I do still occasionally get it in car rides and in plane rides, but I remember I took a trip this year, and normally, even if I take medication for it, in the takeoff part, I would just feel that like my head would just like kind of spin, or feel like really nauseous from that, and even like all the turbulence. But I was actually okay, and I didn't get that feeling. And it was so bizarre, because I remember thinking this time like, wow, I don't have that feeling of that spinning or that lightheadedness or that dizziness. It didn't show up in this plane ride, and I was just so shocked at that, and I was just so happy. So that's another one that's not completely healed, but definitely it has gotten so much better. And another one was pressure around my head over here. I couldn't wear sunglasses or a hat. That would be way too much pressure, and it would start to make me feel lightheaded. So all of those things that I just mentioned, that I don't put enough highlight to, or I don't feel like there's enough highlight on it, are things that I have healed, things that I have healed. And I want to just pause there for a moment and soak that all in. So many times I'm asked so often, have you healed? Because I'm always mentioning things that I'm dealing with or stuff that have resurfaced or things like that. Now, I'm not healed 100%. And there's a good reason. Some of them, it's like the nerves takes a long time to heal. Others is just my liver. When I came into this world, Anthony William, the medical medium, if you don't know who I'm talking about, has mentioned that you can come into this world with an overburdened liver already. It can be filled with toxins and pesticides and heavy metals and pathogens from your parents. And it can be carried on into you. And I believe that I was one of those who came into this world with an already overburdened liver. And the reason why I say that, there's good reasoning to this. I've had eczema since I was a baby. So I wasn't really even in the world to go and grab all these heavy metals and pick up pathogens that long. So I already had it from when I was a child. And so I believe that I've had problems and I've had toxicity and I had heavy metals ever since I was born. I also had Epstein-Barr virus since I was a baby. When I was a young baby, I was rushed to the hospital because I had a super high fever that would not go away. And that was the first signs of it. And so I know that my liver has a lot to clean up. And I wasn't the best, cleanest, healthiest person prior to medical medium. I drank a lot of coffee. I had my days of alcohol. I loved eating desserts. I enjoyed having cheese. I just loved it so much. So I ate a very fatty, very non-whole food diet. Because that's all I could survive on, I was on my own, and you're buying things that are inexpensive to feed yourself. And I ate all those packaged foods. I ate all those fast foods. I did what I needed to do at that time, but that wasn't helping my body. And so I know that I have a lot to heal and I have a lot of things to detox. And that's why it's taking me on this journey. Now, that's not the only reasons, which now brings me to this next section that I want to talk about. I'm always asked, will I have to do this forever? And I don't think that that's the question we should be focusing on. The real question I think we should be asking ourselves are questions like, will I ever catch anything else out there? Will the strength of my immune system ever decrease? Will the air I breathe always be clear and free of toxins? Will I ever come in contact with toxins? Now, I don't know about you, but I'm not able to answer yes to any of those questions, which for myself means my health could be compromised at any moment. And I don't want to stop supporting my body. So for myself, this is something that I will continue to do as a maintenance thing, whether I have healed or not. And that's kind of like another thing that I wanted to add for reasoning of why maybe some of my symptoms haven't healed or I'm still working on healing stuff is because I can't answer yes to all of those things. And all of those things are factors that could be adding to new symptoms or triggering old symptoms. And I'm not done healing because of those kind of things. I don't live in a bubble. I don't live in a place where I'm not going to talk to anybody else or come in contact with anybody else or have a clean air all the time. It's just not possible. This is not the type of world that we live in, and it's not the way that I want to live my life. I want to live my life and have these tools and know that I can do something about it if my health is compromised in any sort of way. And so I like to tell people when they ask me this question, like, will you do this forever? Like, do I have to do it forever? I try to think of it like fitness. You work out to get to a desired look, or you're working out to reach a certain goal, whether it's strength or skill or whatever it is. But everyone who works out, you don't reach that goal and then that is it. You just stop. You just don't go to the gym anymore. No. Everybody keeps going back to the gym to maintain They may not work at the level that they were working at to achieve that goal, but they do things to maintain so they can keep the body that they worked hard for. They can remain at the level that they strive to be at. And that's the same thing how I view my healing journey. Is I use these tools. There's different levels of intensity or deepening of cleanses that you can do if needed, or you can do certain things just to maintain, and that's my plan. And so, do you have to do this forever? No, you do not. You don't. Do I choose to? Absolutely. For my own comfort and for myself and for what I need to do for my healing. And I hope that if you're watching this, that if you're struggling on your healing journey, I know sometimes it may feel like you're the only one still healing, but you aren't. There's me who's still going, who still has a lot to heal. I'm just trying to enjoy the journey as I go along and try not to get so frustrated. You know, the body is so smart, is what we learned, that it knows the rate or the speed of healing that is safe for you and that's okay for your body. So I can't really change the speed of how fast I will heal. I can only make it comfortable for me and just keep going. And I know that I will get there. So much has healed already that more will heal. I know that. And so if you're on a long journey like me, I hope you don't feel alone. And I hope that my video can be of some comfort to you and to let you know that you're not alone and that healing can happen. I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching. Continue on your healing journey. You got this. We got this. We're in this together. It's not like we're different. We got this. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.